All right. Move the mic. Boo, boo, boo. All right. Welcome to a hot show. And I don't mean like I'm hot. I mean like I'm hot. Like I'm trying for what I'm worth not to turn the air on yet. And it's even like I'm moving in that direction inevitably because it's warm tonight, or at least it seems to be getting there right now. It claims to be 73 and clear. It doesn't feel like it in this room. Now that could be very much. This is like a little 10 by 10 room. It's got the computer, it's got the lights, the light there, the computer, and so yeah, maybe that's my fault. It's got the monitor and the other display and the... But what are you going to do, right? What's up, guys? Let me turn to the chat first off today. So we got Masterversal Toy Hunter. Hello! And I saw, sir, I did not get to watch it all yet, but I looked. The Akbar suit, like that's amazing. just to say it, man. What's going on, man? Welcome tonight. I don't know if you were in the last one. Maybe you were. My mind is a blur with all the overtime and everything like that. Finally, a weekend where I don't have to go into work. Like, today, I can do the stream, and then tomorrow I can do a cookout. Like, it's going to be nice. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be nice. What's going on? Hey, welcome. I don't know what we're encountering today. I don't know exactly what we're doing today. I haven't really pre-looked at anything. I was sent a picture today of something that I know we're going to be talking about because they just don't want me to have money. They just don't want it. I try to have money, and then they're like, no, money is not for you. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. But I believe we are starting over on, I think we're going to start on Big Bad tonight, but I think we're going to move around a lot tonight. Let's see. Oh, thank you. What's going on, man? I did think that you missed last time. I know my mind has been kind of all a blur, though. I do remember the watch party thing, though. I remember you saying something about that. Man, that Akbar was so awesome, dude. I'm telling you. May you ask if Fandom Night will be on tomorrow? Yes, it will. I believe, from the sounds of it, we do have Shane. We have, of course, me, and we have Seth. We will be there. Finally, it feels like it's been a while. And if it hasn't, it certainly feels like it. Like, I don't know, getting forced again and again and again, like, is a lot. It's been like 5 weekends in a row that I've had to, like, be in Saturday morning. And we discussed, like, moving to, like, Saturday nights. But we can't really do that because, like, Seth normally ends up working Saturday night. So we got some people on first shift. We got some people on third shift. And it definitely scatters us around more than we like to be, in all honesty. But yes, Fandom Night will be having a show in the morning. And let's go down here. And, whew, oh my gosh. Taking my money. Well, first off, we are going to look at this because I do want to see this. We always want to look at the daily deals just to see what we're missing out on. That we absolutely have to look at. This we're going to look at. I don't have Nick here tonight, but boy, I know Nick loves this kind of stuff when he actually does show up. We are going to look at that. We're going to take a look at this here. What else? I'm interested. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's click on these just for the sake of. We are going to look at this. Uh, okay. I'm going to look at this. Is that like Zoids? We're going to look at that. And we are going to look at whatever's going on there. Yes. Okay. That cow. What? Okay. I do kind of remember this. These are not toys for me, but we will look at them regardless. And then we will look through the pre-order listing just to have a little fun. And then we'll move on from here. I don't know how long we're going to spend on any one topic or anything like that. But we'll play as it comes up, right? So, by the way, Bill, real quick, what state do you live in? I need to check something out. State? I live Midwest, Illinois. Let's see. Dude. I know. I know. And it sounds like Seth is dying to talk about that. So we're probably going to end up talking about it for a while tomorrow on the show, without a doubt. So let's make this go away. Godzilla toys. No, I think I have this. We're gonna look at this just to say we did. We're gonna look at this. I don't care about these. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at this. That's a cool toy, even though, I mean, it's not, I have no dislike of that movie. I went and watched it. I enjoyed it for what it was worth, but it was really just more Monster Battle. I guess the only way I could explain this is to say, at this point, especially after what I saw with Godzilla -1, Monster Fights, it's going to be a while before they do something for me. Like, it's going to be a while before it does something for me. I do not care almost at all. But we will go over that. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, this was so good. Bandai Spirits. These are really just statues more than anything else. Even if they do move, I'm still going to count them as basically statues because it looks like they do this and it looks like the legs move a little bit. They're essentially like very old type of toys, which is fine, but let us also be honest about something here. Like, how big are we looking at here? Because I have a feeling this is no bigger. 6 inches? Legendary Godzilla, 6 inches? That, 6 inches. My Masterverse figures are bigger than Godzilla. $120. Now, I feel like we did this last time, too, where we got in and talked about this and was like, what is going on with the prices on Godzilla toys? Because they're too much. They're too much. I don't know if you're referring to something that I've told before on here, but I had a Godzilla. Like a huge Godzilla. Like a literally went all the way up a little past my knee Godzilla. And it had an articulated jaw. And when I wasn't paying attention, my daughter fed it donuts. She's live stream to me. Really? Okay. That's kind of neat. I'm going to possibly meet my favorite YouTuber and Captain Marvelous actor, which will be glorious. That is cool. That is like legit cool, man. Let's see. What 98 Godzilla should have looked like? Yeah, that's fair. Momocon. Wondered if you've heard about it. I feel like I've seen ads for it on Facebook. Dude, this price is... What is... I can't understand. I'm sorry. I try. I can't. In fact, the Godzilla on my shelf that I have standing next to the Dragon Sword is bigger than that, older than that, has the exact same level of articulation, probably has about the same level of sculpt detail, and it cost me, like, literally, I think it cost me like $20 at a convention. Like, I do not understand the prices that I see on a lot of these figures. I just don't get it. The Godzilla toys are insane. This is cool. It is $100. 13 inches. Okay, now we're looking at stuff that's about a little over a foot. You can argue that I've bought things for almost that price that probably aren't even this cool. It is cool. I don't think I would buy it. I find myself in a weird place with Godzilla. I didn't expect that much articulation in the tail. That's really impressive. I find myself in a weird place with Godzilla stuff. I like Godzilla. I've bought a lot of the movies. I enjoy it for what it is, but I cannot get myself to spend that kind of money. Like, I mean, it's a lot of money. Yeah, but I don't care that it's I know it's Bandai Spirits, but the price is unjustified. They cannot convince me for the life that it's justified at that price. I'm not buying it. I don't buy into it. I think that's ridiculous. Even this is... Oh, no, that is. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Show me. Show me what this does. Show me what this is, okay? Realistic stomping action. Sure. It walks. It lights up. That is cool. Is this the one that shoots the mist? That's pretty cool. I'll admit, that's pretty cool. It's from Jada Toys. It's about $70. Better price range than what I've already seen. 2 feet long. Wonder how tall it is. 2 feet long. I don't know how Jada does it. Like, looking at other companies that are putting out the prices that they're putting out, I don't know how Jada does it. Like, it's amazing. It just blows my mind. You couldn't even do stop motion with that one that we were looking at that was, like, overpriced. But you could with that Ghidorah. That was awesome. Let's see. Nope. Oh my gosh. Shin. Oh! No. Like, oh my god. No. $1,300. 20 inches. I mean, he's big. He's a big boy. Is he just a statue? I think he is. I think he's just a really big statue, which is cool, but wow. Holy crap. Moving on. Like, that is too much. That is way too much. -1 at this point. -1 took me by storm. I'm telling you, without a doubt, even if it is just my personal opinion, it is the best Godzilla movie I have ever seen. And just for context, I own 30 Godzilla movies. I own them. I have them. They're on my shelf. So, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I've seen a lot, okay? And that is my favorite, because there's one thing to strike an excellent looking design, but with everything else that goes with it, that plays into it, I'm telling you, that was magic. That was magic. Bandai is weird with prices. A figure with a little action can be deathly expensive due to being part of a premium Bandai. Usually it's because the paint or sculpting quality being much better than usual, but it's not. But it's not. They're if you believe that, just to tell you, if you believe that, you're being played. The figure that we looked at the beginning was no different than the original little rubber figures that they used to put out, like the big rubber figures that were about a foot tall, and it's smaller than that, and in no way. The price cannot be justified. It's ridiculous. Yes, that's exactly what Shin looks like. Yes. The amount of detail, $3,000. I can't do it. This is cool. We got $94. It's a little under. It's under 10 inches. That's Godzilla toys. Just, I mean, he's really cool. That is cool. You could especially if that tail has all those levels of articulation. If a lot of those bend, does it look like his fingers? Are those just hands? Those are just hands. I don't think you can actually move the fingers. See, something big like this, you look at it and there's a lot of detail, and there's decent paint application. But then I wonder about articulation. And I wonder how well this thing actually moves, because every single one of these poses I'm seeing is just him standing there. Standing, 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 standing. No, that's the most dynamic pose I've seen. Somewhat to the side. Standing. Roaring, standing. Roaring, head tilted slightly, standing, standing, standing. What I'm saying here is that this is $100. It looks great. It's basically a posable statue. It's not gonna do much, and I just don't get it. But I'm happy that I'm a Godzilla fan in terms of movies. I'm glad that I'm not buying a lot of this, because I wonder how much of it I would tolerate. I feel like I let a lot go in toys, because I'm just trying to have fun. But I also feel like at the same time, I can hold to a pretty high standard, and I'm known for taking stuff off the shelf when I get something that I feel is like superior. And once like better things start coming out, I'm not one of those guys that also gets lost in the nostalgia like, oh man, the best toys were in the 80s. Nah, the engineering has gotten so much more sophisticated nowadays than from where we were. I don't believe it's a model kit. Let's look real quick. But I mean, it's articulated once completed. Maybe it is. Made of plastic, snap together model kit. It does say snap together model kit. So you build it. It's basically a giant Gunpla with limited posability. You could argue this is cool. And I would not argue against somebody that went and got it. Because realistically, if you put this together, that is pretty cool. And the experience of building it is probably worth the $100 alone if you're a huge Godzilla fan. So, yeah, I'd say that this is actually cool. Overpriced for me, but cool. Okay, -1 with a lot more posability, $150. Bandai Spirits. How big are you? 6 inches? What? I mean, it looks good. The sculpt is decent, yeah. but I wouldn't say the Paint app is anything that necessarily blows me away. It's not that hard to create a black and white effect on a toy like this. I imagine that's just a couple of wash passes. I don't get it. I don't get the pricing. Godzilla toys blow my mind. Like, it's 6 inches. Okay. It's not for me. That's what I'm saying. Ultimates. Super 7. -1. Are the Ultimates rocking it? I'd almost say this looks better than the last one I looked at. In all honesty, I think it does. Tail has some articulation there. Looks like he's not going to go crazy with articulation, but he'd do just about as well as the last one we just looked at. And it looks like he's not. He looks like he doesn't have the ab crunch that I would like him to have. The other one had that solid ab crunch. We're looking at 85 at 7 inches. Still, I feel like this is... Maybe I just... You know what? Maybe I want my Godzillas to be big. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe I got like a thing where I want the Godzillas to be big. I don't know. You do get 2 heads. That is pretty cool. And that's fine. But if you're going to do... No, you know what? It's not fine. I'm still not going to give it to you. Look. You know what? I'll track it back to Motu. Battle Cat does not come at the same size as everybody else. Like, because it's different. When they released Motherboard was not as big as everybody else. She was large and towered over everybody because that's the character. So if you're going to try to match a scale line, and it's not that I don't understand, but on a personal note, I am not about to put a $150 6-inch Godzilla on my shelf. Like, there's no way you would get me to buy that. That does not seem, on a personal level, it doesn't seem like it's justified. Like big Godzillas. Yeah, exactly. I like big Godzillas. Like, there's no way I could put a tiny 6-inch Godzilla on my shelf at $150 when I'm sure that I could buy the 2-foot Godzilla for less. It's the American Godzilla, sure. Not the 98 one, but I mean it's still big, it's still cool. I like to have it more than, so I don't know, it just blows my mind. And I guess I get that, but I'm just saying in general, no matter what we look up, I cannot possibly justify a 6-inch 100+ Godzilla. There's just no way ever. Let's see. Oh, okay. These are the sales today. So, looks like we got... They cannot give this Kingpin away. They can't. I have seen this Kingpin over and over and over and over. They cannot get rid of it. I've seen it literally move to clearance and then just be moved back to the racks. But if I'm being honest, it's probably... I don't think it's good. Like, I don't. I don't know if he's just not imposing, if he's too small. And I get that Kingpin, if you're going to play him off as a real guy, he's not going to be as big. But, like, I think this figure is bad. That's weird. Why are these pictures in here? I think this figure's bad. I've never bought it, and I've never actually met anybody in person yet that has bought it. And like, praised it. I guess I'll put it that way. This is kind of wild. The fact that they're doing all these wrestlers, Motu crossover wrestlers. I'm sure it's cool for people that like are really into wrestling. I'm not. I don't watch wrestling, but I did think it was cool when I seen all these starting to come out. What the crap? Toy Pizza Knights of the Synth Death Knights 1/12 scale figure. What are you? What? This guy is wild. He's like a Kamen Rider whose exact purpose is to turn into a Kamen Rider so that he can use his super pizza cutter to cut pizza real good. Like, what? Yeah, and no, that's exactly, yeah, that goes back to kind of what I was talking about. Yeah, if I was to get something like that, I want the Batwing to be bigger than Batman. I realize when we can't get away with it. Like, I'm not going to get an Enterprise that actually fits 6-inch figures. It's never going to happen. It's not possible. And yeah, size does matter. Well, I mean, to be fair, when he's played by a regular-sized dude, he's going to be a regular-sized dude. But he kicked that. He rocked that role. He is an amazing Kingpin. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Let's see. Toy Pizza Nights. That's what I mean. Yeah, this guy's ridiculous. He's okay. Well, anyways, he's on sale. You can get him half off right now. Silent Hill 2 Figment. That's actually pretty cool. They got the Silent Hill 2 nurse. Silent Hill stuff is just... It's just... Silent Hill stuff keep you up at night, man. That's what it'll do, man. It's... Oh, my God. But that is cool that if you were into, like, Silent Hill specifically, because let's be honest, things like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and whatnot, we don't really have a whole lot of outlet for that kind of stuff. So it's rare. It would be tough to, like, yeah, like, there are Resident Evil toys, but, like, good luck is basically what I'm telling you. Ultra Street Fighter. Oh, this is Storm Collectibles. This is not something that I invest in. It's cool, but Jada Toys for me right now, absolutely. Got a neat looking Sonic here. T-Rex, more Super, not Super 7. But more Storm Collectibles. Joy Toy. I don't know these. Oh, what the... The flippers. I mean, I get it, but it's so goofy. That's cool. It's reasonably priced. How big are you? 1/18? Okay. It's pretty cool. I mean, it is. It's generic, but at the same time, that is one of the things that kind of makes it cool, because sometimes you like to just have kind of like a, like a samurai guy, a ninja guy, things of that nature. It doesn't always have to be like Major Product. And this could be something from Major Product. I'm not saying that I fully understand it, but I mean, that's the impression I get off of him when I see him, and it's pretty cool. Oh, something from Macross. Let's look at him. We don't see Macross stuff almost ever. Oh, I don't know anything about that. Okay. So it's been a long time since I've watched anything Macross, but like, this is cool. Macross Delta DX. See, Nick would know what this is before I would. I just think it's cool. Like, I mean, like I said, I watched it, but I watched it like years ago. I watched it in about one passing, and I don't think I really went past the first couple series. And then that was it. Like after the first couple series, I just kind of backed off and kind of got into things like Gundam and different stuff like that. I'm not known to necessarily like, there's very few titles that I like overly invest myself into where I've seen like absolutely everything. Oh, little Supersonic, he's sold out. What is... Really? The microphone? Okay. I mean, okay. Just... Wow. You gotta be a real fan. Like, you gotta be a real fan for that. Like, that one surprises me. Technically, Robotech was Macross, and then it started stealing other properties and also claiming them as Robotech, and then it got really confusing after that part. And yeah, for a while they did run it on Toonami. Robotech did have a stint on Toonami where they played the first adapted Macross, and then they kind of went on from that into like a couple of other series which were not Macross, but they tried to claim they were the same kind of... It was if you ever look up the history on it, it's wild. It's like 3 or 4 different shows that were all taken and adapted and then kind of like claimed to be under one umbrella, Robotech, which was not... It just was not true. Because then if you get into like the Japanese side and you start watching like Macross, all of a sudden you're looking for the other parts and they're not there because they're not actually that show. And yeah, but except I'll say that the moon wand, I don't think you have to be as hardcore of a fan. You could still think the new moon wand is cool, but like a microphone, that's a hardcore fan. Did you see the new DC Elseworlds Batman comics trailer? No, I have not. I'll have to check it out. And yeah, kind of similar to what was played with Voltron as far as I remember. Yeah. And yeah, he's talking about it right now. Yeah, they're like 3 completely unrelated anime. It's wild. It's a wild history of a show. Okay. First off, we wish we could have this. We wish. It's not going to happen. But we wish it, okay? That's what we do. We wish it. We also wish this. In fact, that's actually doable. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at this just because I can't have it. This I've already bought. This I've already bought. I love this, by the way. And this, I have no choice. I have to look at it. So, this would be cool. It's very comic look. The sculpt is decent. I like she's standing on the shield. Looks like the body is done right. I like the curvature of the sword here. Multiple weapons. I love the hair, the flail. She looks drawn. Like, and the paint job very much looks like she was inked and colored. That's really clever. Like, for a statue like this, you're looking at something relatively... It's $200. Somebody's going to get it before I ever do. Look at that. Only one left. I'm not going to own this Red Sonja. But it's really cool. I'll admit that had I noticed it earlier when I had real money, this would have been something that I would have been interested in. It's a foot tall. That's solid. It's based on the 1976 Red Sonja number 4 cover. Okay. I'll bet you I have that. Celebrates 45 years of Red Sonja. Stylized base. That shield. This is cool. This is like legit cool. This is done well. I would be interested in this. It's a foot tall. That's awesome. For right now, I can't do it. I can't justify like a $200 drop right now on really most anything, but it's really cool. Yes, I did watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger Red Sonja, and it's okay. The comics has her beat, like, hands down. And I know that's something funny to say, but, like, how do I put this? When I watch the Conan movie and read the Conan comics, I can see them as separate, and I don't kind of compare them, and each one seems fine to me, and I enjoy both. When I watch the Red Sonja movie, I find myself wishing it was a Red Sonja movie. That's the issue that I have on that one. Yeah, this is really cool. Moving on from that, this is really, really cool. It's way too much for me. $690 basically. This is what window shopping is about right here. Look at that. 22.70 inches. This thing is monstrous. It's an absolute this is an absolute like room spectacle. Look at that. That is unbelievably cool. Jumping up, I love this wrap, the level of detail and everything like that, the way the body and curvature of the muscles happens. This is actually really, really good work all through here. I like the speckles that come off. I really like this, that they incorporate this blood right here, this like cool slash, or her jumping out of like a red river or something like that. I really like that they incorporate that to put her airborne. You know what I mean? They made it part of the model, so there's not like a piece that's holding her up on her back or something like that. I really like that. That's done very, very well. Like, the level of detail in this is shocking. The gloves and everything. That face is fantastic. The inside of the mouth even. This is done exceptionally well. Which, I mean, you would demand such a thing. Like, look at this belt even. This belt actually comes off of her and hangs, and like, I don't know if it's like a completely separate piece or if it's just crafted so well that this is part of the statue. You know what I mean? Like, if because it could be a separate actual like leather strap, or it could just be done so well that my eyes see it that way. This thing right here is awesome. Oh, sweet. I love the wolf pelt. That is phenomenal. I mean, it is so good. This is interesting. You should, like, wow. I'm impressed. Like, it's really, really impressive. I would, look, I did a full episode talking about, like, grails, like unobtainable. Some grails are like unobtainable. You wish you had this one major piece. This is a bit of a thing with me with Red Sonja. I would love to have like an absolute centerpiece. Like, something like this would be exceptionally cool. And it would, like, I could put this on my bookshelf across all my Red Sonja stuff, and like, it's just unbelievable. That is so good, it's unreal. Like, that is a level of detail that deserves applause. Yeah, I'd have to straight take out alone. The blood dripping from the blade. And yeah, that is cool that there's a skull in the blood. You guys are right. That is really cool. Yeah, that's sick. It's cool. I mean, this is awesome. This is what you wish. You'd never get it necessarily, but you sure wish it. This. They don't want me to have money. They just don't want it. I'm like, hey, I have money. And they're like, oh, can we have it? And I'm like, well, I mean, I've already given you a little money. And they're like, can we have more of it? And then I'm like, oh, like for what? And they're like, I don't know. Another, like a third Red Sonja for your current collecting, like, figure collection. And I'm like, I mean, I've already got one, and then I've got another one coming. And they're like, what about amazing black and white Sin City high res, like red spectacle look? And I'm like, oh, damn you. And then I see it. That screaming face, the red, like the shocking red hair against the black and white, like design. Like, this is cool. The blood spatter, this is really, really cool. Like, you could make some amazing stuff with this. She is so awesome. Yeah. I'll admit it, they got me on this one. They got me on this one, without a doubt. I'm going to pre-order it. There's no way I'm not. It's too good. It's too good. It's right up there with the kind of stuff I like. And it's not asking that much for being a special variant, in all honesty. Because Boss Fight Studio already did another one of these that I've already got right here. And they're only asking $10 more for a special variant. So I've got this. She'll be clean. She'll be cool. She'll be proper color and everything like that. She comes with all the stuff that the other one comes with. So I'm not missing out. I'm basically duplicating what I have, but it's a special variant, and it's a cool special variant. The reason I call that out is because, like, when Vampirella did a special variant for, like, Big Bad Toy Store, it was like an exclusive to Big Bad. It was black costume. Like I'm not trying to like bring it down or anything like that, but that's what it was. And I like it. Like Loose Collector. See, they released this. There you go. That's her right there. Vampirella, solid, exactly like the Red Sonja. The body cap design and everything like that leaves a little bit to be desired. I'll admit, this is a little somewhat wonky, but it worked for Red Sonja. It really did. And the hips, you tend to start to ignore them after a while of like working with them. You kind of see why they did that, because it offers, it adds this little bump here, but it offers a lot of posability. Like you could tell that she can actually get up on the gargoyle, and this pose is possible because of the body yield design. These are rare. They're not something that a lot of other people are going to have, and that is pretty cool. It makes her stand out. She's Vampirella. How many other people have Vampirella to begin with, let alone a full-on, worthwhile spectacle figure, right? How does your pre-order work? I usually get money taken out and then put it back. So pre-orders on Big Bad, which is one of the reasons I stick with them, they don't charge you until the product comes in, and you can stop whenever you need to. So I have a card that I specifically like set aside that I use for Big Bad, and then I'll put like 4 or 5 or 6 items on pre-order, and then I'll watch them. And if I find them somewhere else, I'll come in and cancel the pre-orders. And the $4 flat shipping rate is absolutely fantastic from them, because I've went to some other places where you really pay the shipping. But I do tend to like this a lot. So like if I put her on, which she would be like a straight up buy. But like say that I was pretty sure that I was going to work the overtime or whatever. I could put her on pre-order, then I could go forward, and then if it came down to like a couple weeks before they were about to release, and I found out that like I simply do not have the money, it's as simple as going into your account, going to pre-orders, and canceling. And I've done that with 4 different items that I found in the wild. I ordered a couple of G.I. Joes, then found the G.I. Joes like at a store and just bought them there, and then went home and like canceled the pre-order. So there's only certain items that will like stick you to the pre-order, where like once you're in, and there's nothing you can really do about it. And then even then, a lot of this stuff here, like if it does do something like that to you, it'll basically say, all right, for your pre-order, we need you to guarantee $15 or something. So you put your $15 in. That does not come back to you if you cancel on them. You've kind of taken one of their main slots. Now they have to stock the item and they have to try to sell it. So you're going to pay the $15. Most of the time with these toys, that's not a thing. If you'd have had her pre-ordered, there was nothing like that on her. You didn't have to put down like a deposit or nothing like that. If you didn't get her, you didn't get her. So yeah, that's pretty much how a lot of those work. And each site is a little different. Each site will treat you different in terms of the way that works, but that's the way that this works. But yeah, So that was her, and then they were like, hey, variant, black costume. Like, I mean, it's cool, but like, it's just this. Different paint. And you could argue that that's the same with the Red Sonja, but I'll say this. They gave her bloody hands and an extra head. Kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it is. But realistically, on a personal level, if I was to do this, the only one I'd even want is the one that's more actual to the character, the red. This is what I would want anyway. The other one is just like a cool gimmick for people that are like really into something. And I personally have not read enough. I've probably read 50 of them over the years in terms of Vampirella to know whether or not this black suit is like any kind of like craziness. But that Red Sonja, I have read and seen covers where the Red Sonja book is done in that black and white awesomeness, and like that's a sweet variant. That's got me. Like if you needed to convince me, you did. Like I'm in 100% on that one. Yeah, and I also think the red does pop. I think it adds to the figure overall. So it would be a hard sell for me to go variant-wise. Although, if you were to make the argument and you just wanted one of them, they're not asking for much. Like, this and this are pretty much about the same range. Pick the one you like. The Red Sonja, the variant, does cost an extra $10, but it still doesn't even come close to the amount that these guys are costing, and I want it. That's sick. It's an action figure. 3-0, $150, 8 inches. 4 Robotech. All Robotech stuff, on a personal note, is expensive. But I would also tell you that over here, it's also very rare. In the wild, I have only ever encountered 4 Robotech things ever. Like, literally ever. It is not regular. You don't run into them. It doesn't happen. So when something like this comes along, with this level of detail and everything, especially, like, this is pretty cool. Not for me. I wouldn't buy it. I've got other things that I would very much buy. But I don't deny for a second that I think there's an awful lot of Robotech fans that are especially starved for material that would probably be willing to pay this price. I'm not one of them, but I do see that it could and would happen. Okay, guys, really with the Elvira thing. So I bought one of these. I bought the black suit Elvira because it made sense. Then they released the red one, and I was like, well, I don't want the red one, so that doesn't really mean anything to me. And all it is you can't call it a repaint. It's the exact same figure. Basically, they repainted the bottom half, and they changed the soft goods. I have the one that I want. She's already on my movie shelf, and she stands next to the Night of the Living Dead movies, so that's fine. Then they were like, hey, Christmas costume. And I'm like, really, guys? Like, they're going a little crazy on this. If you were a huge Elvira fan, though, this would probably be really cool, because they're really, I mean, yeah, there's some, like, goofy stuff that you can buy all the time, but, like, not really a whole lot of stuff like this that I can think of that are, like, figures. And now, like, it's the second NECA released her, they've just been going crazy on the variants and everything. And actually, the rainbow thing, actually makes a lot of sense for her. Like, a lot of sense. If you know her history, you know why. If you don't know her history, go learn her history. Because it is actually really cool. It's really interesting. Let's see. Never watched Robotech. I also prefer her in black. I understand. So. No. I've been seeing this guy, like, basically clogging up store pegs at this point. He's everywhere all of a sudden. This is kind of cool. Hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. It is cool, but it very much looks movie aesthetic. I prefer that head. This is not for me. The movie aesthetic of it puts me off of it. And not because I didn't like the movie, I don't care one way or another. But like, it won't fit most of my shelf and it won't really look right next to the Spider-Man that I have. This is not for me. Though it is cool. This is for me. I've already ordered it. And I'm very much looking forward to it. This is fantastic. Like, it's so good. I have been waiting forever to get Danny Ketch with the Cycle. In fact, I was asked a while ago about it. I can't remember what episode we were in or what we were doing, but somebody said it. They were like, hey, they were like, have you ever bought a Ghost Rider? And I'm like, no, because they haven't released the one I want. And then when they do release the one I want, he doesn't have the bike. This is it. That, like, it's crazy how, like, literally some, like, almost right after that episode, they did it. They were like, here he is. This is the one that you've specifically, literally been waiting for forever. And I'm like, yes. And there he is. Like, that's Danny Ketch. That's the Cycle. The only problem I have is minor. It's right here. These are supposed to be headlights. They're not supposed to be like weird open window things or whatever. Those are supposed to be headlights. I'm sure that I don't do customizing, but I'm sure that that's such a mild thing that I could do it. And I might. If it really bothers me, I might. But I think it's something that I can honestly just look right past. With all the flame effects and everything else that's going to be really cool about this guy, I don't think it's going to bother me that much. It's fine. But this is literally the one that I have been waiting for. I do like Johnny Blaze. I do. But when I was introduced to Ghost Rider, I was reading Spider-Man in the 90s. And I picked up a book while I was out with my grandmother. And that book had a Spider-Man Ghost Rider crossover. And it was this Ghost Rider with that bike. And I remember, like, I started seeing Ghost Rider. Like, as soon as I seen him, I was like, who is this guy? What is this? This is cool. And I just thought it was like one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. Then later on, I kind of started getting Ghost Rider here and there. Like, I would find it in like stores and like the dollar bins and stuff like that. And I tried, but I could not. I just couldn't. Like, it wasn't the one that I had seen. It wasn't the one that was like stuck in my mind. The one that I couldn't get rid of. The one that I'd been hunting. And I wanted it forever. The Ghost Rider that I'd seen in that comic. And it just was not a thing. They were making everyone else but Danny Ketch. And then when they made Danny Ketch, they wouldn't make his motorcycle. Then this is for me. This is for me. This is like fulfilling a strange moment in my childhood. This was my first appearance Ghost Rider. The first time I'd ever seen him. The first time I ever knew he was even a thing. He appeared like this on this motorcycle in a Spider-Man comic. And I've never seen him in toy form until now. And this is for me. Hey, what's going on, man? The Incredible Hulk cartoon? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and that's what I mean. We all get introduced to something at like different points and in different ways. And this was my gateway into even knowing that Ghost Rider even existed. And I've always said to myself, if I'm going to put certain things on the shelf, especially big things, and this guy has a motorcycle, he's going to take up space, it has to, my entire collection has to feed back to me. It has to mean something to me on a personal level, or I don't want it. Every single item on that shelf, no matter how big or small or significant or insignificant, has a story, even if the story is minor and it pertains to my likes, my desires, my wants, my interests. All of it. That's my collection. It speaks about me. So if I'm going to add a Ghost Rider, it has to be the one. It has to be, before I ever worry about anything else ever, it has to be this Ghost Rider, because this is where I even discovered he was a thing, and the image of that comic has never left my mind ever. Like, literally ever. It's gonna be, as Thanos Copter just put it, a rad toy. There's no way around it. This is gonna be so good. Yeah. Thundercats Ultimates. You know, this figure right here, I have considered buying her a couple of times just because I really like her design. I don't know anything about Thundercats, but I've seen something like this in Motu that just simply hasn't been built yet. It's on like a lot of the artwork and whatnot for like Wondar. I keep seeing this character that I kind of wish they would make. And then she's almost kind of right here. Except that I feel like her cartoon look would actually... The Super 7 cartoon look for this, I feel like it would clash against all the Motu, Masterverse, and like Barbarian stuff that I have on the shelf. It might not fit in. It might look too cartoony. I kind of wish these were kind of... I wish that I could see these things in person, but oftentimes that doesn't happen. Like, oftentimes with these, you kind of end up having to buy them, or you simply won't see them. So yeah, and yes, there will absolutely be an unboxing for that, without a doubt. And yeah, Marvel... I don't know what's going on, but they are rocking it. It, like, time and time again, all of a sudden I'm finding item after item after item that I specifically want, and I have not been a Marvel Legends guy. Like, I'm a hardcore cherry picker. Like, 1 or 2 figures out of every 3 or 4 waves. Like, I skip like crazy with this stuff. I'm like, oh, look, another Wolverine. And I don't need 17 Wolverines. But like, all of a sudden, man, they're just releasing bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. They're dropping them, man. They're so good. And yeah, I mean, she doesn't look like a cat, but she has something to do with Thundercats. I have not seen the Thundercats. I only have one introduction, one thing ever with Thundercats. That's it. One. I read the Thundercats Motu crossover comic. It was fantastic. I liked what I saw. It made me interested. I would be interested to buy the original series and watch it. At this point, I am on board enough design-wise and knowing the kinds of things that I like in general, I would give it a try. But I have not actually ever seen any of it ever. And I'm not, like, rushing out to necessarily do so. I check, like, the Walmarts and the stores and whatnot when I go out there. I'll make, like, a random check on the shelf and see if maybe they're... Because they used to sell this in, like, Walmart. The series. And now they kind of don't. So I kind of missed the opportunity. I'm going to have to get it online at some point if I really want to dive in. And I kind of do, but we'll get there when we get there. I have 1,000 other shows that are on my backlog. And chances are I will not watch everything I want to watch before I die. Let's see. I got notice today that these 2 are on the way, which is great. because I did not get an Origins Triclops, and I mean, this is awesome. This is fantastic right here. Look at him! Look at him, he's fantastic! In fact, I got a merman. Is that him up there? Yeah, I got the Revelation merman. The one that's more like an actual classic merman. I got him. He's up there now. Finally. So I've got his video coming probably pretty soon. I don't know. It's been wild. It has not been an easy thing as of late for a lot of stuff. Like, there's been a lot of stuff going on. My wife had to go get surgery and things like that. And, of course, with everything that happened with Nick, and I'm not going into details on that. That's his story. He'll tell it when he's ready to tell it. And now with everything that's going on with Seth and everything's been kind of crazy. And it's just kind of a roller coaster. And I really haven't filmed anything like direct that needs editing. I did that one video this week, and I haven't really done anything else. I did that Where's the King, where I'm specifically talking about these different people that never received a Grayskull. Let's see. There we go. That was weird. Thundercats is cool. Not sure how well it will hold up. There is a new ongoing comic for it. And that might be cool too. But I don't hate old shows. Like, I can put myself in the frame of mind to kind of watch an older show and like appreciate it for what it is. Let's see. Let's not hide pre-orders. I have him. I have him. I have him. I have her. I don't see anything new. Oh, I've got to put one of these on pre-order. Because this Necrocondo is awesome. Like, that is awesome. Every time I step away from Origins and I say, I'm gonna start cherry picking Origins pretty hard, they come out with like 7 different items that I want. Like, I pretty much backed off of Origins and pretty much had what I wanted. Then all of a sudden they were like, hey, Ninja Turtles. And I was like, ah, damn it. And they were like, hey, cartoon. And I was like, ah, damn it. hey, reeditions of guys that simply were unbuyable, like Triclops. Ah, damn it. Like, just all of a sudden, man, they got me right back where they wanted me. Let's do this real quick. I got my pre-orders and okay. Nope, just wanted to make sure that nothing else had come out while I wasn't paying attention, but no, I've got him. Okay, yeah, we're doing fine. Okay, this. Yeah, no, there's definitely some stuff about it that I like. From what I've seen of it. Yep. Yeah, I did. I also paid this morning. They sent me the notice that it's on its way. Yeah, absolutely. It is. This is kind of cool. But not for me. This... At first, when I seen it, I was like, oh man, am I about to replace my Ecto? I'm not. This looks good, but it's for a scale of Ghostbusters I have not collected and do not collect. This specifically is that one that's coming out for the line with the, like the Ghostbusters with the, they look like old G.I. Joes. You know what I'm talking about. It's their car. It's for their scale. And I also was told that it only fits 2 of them. I feel like at that scale, when they're like the size of like old 3.75 G.I. Joes, like... Was there a like, it just blows my mind. You telling me they couldn't have made it the littlest bit bigger or done something? That is a little off-putting. that it doesn't fit the 4 Ghostbusters. It supposedly fits 2. And that's it. Like, there's doors here, and you could see it right here. There's doors here, but there's no, like, actual back seat. There's nowhere for anybody to sit because they got all this equipment right here for where they put the backpacks and stuff like that. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense. It is kind of a cool play effect, but, like, I just figure, at that scale, all 4 of them should fit in there. That's like selling a tank in G.I. Joe that sits 6 people, but 2 of the seats are, like, they're illusion. They're not actually there. Like, it looks like the little thing would open up and you could put your guy in, because the other 4 right here, they open up and you put guys in. But the 2 on the side, they don't actually open up. They're not real. Like, that's what it just feels weird to me. And maybe it is left over from when I grew up playing with toys that were like this, that if I'm going to do that, I want it to fit the figures. I don't know. It's just really weird to me. It almost feels like it's a misstep. Kind of bothered me, in all honesty. Still thinking on this one, actually. Ray rides on the roof. Let's see. You might have to play Suck It in Script. Yeah, no shit. Oh my gosh. Dude, yeah, it just, I don't get it. It feels like a missed opportunity. It is cool. Yeah, like there's like this one seat back there. So maybe they heard some complaints and they made it that 3 people could fit. And maybe if you want to play the everybody squish in real tight, 3 people could sit in the front uncomfortably. I was told, though, when they were talking about this toy, that it only holds 2 Joes comfortably or whatever. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes of it, is, I guess, what I'm saying. We'll see what comes of it. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, my gosh. No, I have those. I'm happy with what I have. Okay. These are pretty cool. I was looking at these. These are pretty cool. They're like, I've said this a couple times. Right now, we're in this weird age of toys where there's all this new stuff to, like, discover. Like, you gotta love that right now you could get the toys you grew up with, and then just like a child back then, you could discover toys that you have no idea what they are, and just go, that's cool. Like, I had a Proton Pack. I do not have a Proton Pack as of late. But, like, think about it. Like, when you were growing up, you had some toys, right? Like, think about all the, like stuff that you had. And then, like, you would go to the store and there would be this guy. And you'd be like, oh, cool, he'll fight my Ninja Turtles. You know what I'm getting at? Like, we're in a weird age where there's all these new cool things showing up. And you could very much discover things. I mean, around every corner, there's new stuff right now. Literally around every corner. Like, look at that. That is cool. That's just, like, really goofy, really cool. But it, like, really fits the aesthetic of when I was a kid and I had, like, a bunch of Ninja Turtles and I would find, like, weird figures that I didn't even see the guy on the cartoon show or anything like that, but he was, like, a big, red, angry bull man, and I was like, yep, that's for me. That's definitely for me. And, Like, it's just so cool to think that we've got that kind of stuff going again. Oh, no, absolutely. I'm 100% on board. I also hope that the Mondo Ghostbusters are not so pricey that they price me out, because I'm hearing they're like 6-inch or 7-inch, I can't remember, but they're like this. They fit the scale of the figures that literally fit my shelf for the real Ghostbusters, fully articulated. Like, that is exciting. I am very, very, very interested to see what they're going to do with that. And I absolutely would love to have a set of them. And you see, that's what I mean. Right there, Jake is like, is this a Ninja Turtles thing that I don't know about? Like a Ninja Turtles knockoff thing? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You just got the Bird Raptor? See, that's what I mean. They're cool. Like, there's something to be said about the fact that, because let's be honest, we've also gotten very used to, in this day and age, right? We've gotten very used to the idea that there's not a whole lot of new things for, like, us, is the best way I'm going to explain that. Like, you could buy Ninja Turtles again. Sure, you could buy all the Marvel stuff that you've been buying for the last 20 years. You could buy all your DC stuff that you've bought for the last 20 years. Like, you could buy the same toys that you've already bought 100 times or whatever, and like recollect and stuff like that, and go your retro waves or anything. But then, now we've got things like Mega Man has a decent line out. We have stuff like this, like new, inventive, really imaginative toys that aren't like tied to a hard property that you can just like for the fact that they're cool. Like, that's enough sometimes, that something is fun, something is cool. Do you remember going to the store when you were a kid and there would be like lines of like figures? Like, for instance, I didn't know what Exo Squad was, but I bought 4 of those mechs because they were cool. That was it. I had G.I. Joes. These guys like fit in mechs. They were a little smaller. I took them, and I remember I added them into my toys, and I said, okay, since these guys are a little smaller, they're going to be teenagers or whatever. And I specifically did that. I like made them the younger characters that were like in with the Joes or whatever. So there was the teenagers, and then there was like the Joes, which were normal guys, and the teenagers had like these battle mechs and whatnot. They were like a new division. I was like, I'm just going to add them in because like they're cool. They're cool toys, and that's the only reason I got them in the first place. And I discovered so many toys that way. And nowadays, you don't really get to do that. You don't get to see like new stuff that like feels unique and new. You just get to see property-based items. Like, what's something new? Oh, well, they got, they got Demon Slayer or whatever. Okay, but it's not new. It's the same thing that I grew up with. It's just a property-based toy. And that's still cool if you like Demon Slayer. There's cool Demon Slayer toys. But, like, you get the idea. It's cool to discover things that are like uniquely new, uniquely cool. Just got the Hero Toys Demon Killer and Big Devil in too. I inherited a bunch of Mech Warrior and Exo Squad from my younger cousin when he moved out of town. I've had them in bins for a while. I should break them out. You should. You really should. Zoids. Like, that's wild to me. I haven't seen Zoids. I mean, I know it's a property, and I know it still sells because I actually follow a guy on TikTok or whatever that's all he does is talk about Zoids. But like, it's crazy to see them. Because with me, Zoids just like went away and then was gone. And it's so crazy to see like a whole wave of like toys like that are fully accessible. Like, look at all this pre-order. Look at this. Bam, 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 bam. Like, holy crap. The Scorpion mech is cool. That is cool. Like, it is. I like it. Like, that's all I can say about it. It's really awesome. It's not something that I'm going to jump into, but it is really cool to see all of this stuff again. Like, I had this gorilla when I was growing up. That was the first Zoid thing I ever got, is my grandma, the one that I never got to know very well. I went to her house on Christmas and she bought me this gorilla. I had a gorilla from Zoids. That's what I remember. And then, like, later on, I thought it was just like a toy. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't realize that it was like a thing. And then, like, a couple years later, all of a sudden there was like a show on Toonami that was Zoids. And I was like, wait a second, this is like a thing? Because I had that gorilla, you know? Yeah. But these are cool. These are cool to see, man. And, like, almost nothing is unobtainable right now. Like, look, none of these say sold out. And I don't think I have my sold out. Oh, I am hiding the sold out tab, so that's not fair. But I mean, there's a lot here. You could come in here. I mean, it's going to cost you money. Well, not necessarily. I mean, look, that's only like $50. If you're willing to buy Super 7 figures, you know what I'm getting at? If you're willing to buy Super 7 figures, then you're willing to buy Zoids. That's the end of it. Yeah, if you're willing to buy Super 7 figures, you're willing to buy Zoids. That's all I'm going to say. You can't really, you know what I mean? But yeah, you could come in here, you could start a collection just off Big Bad, just dink, 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 dink. Some of them are going to cost real money, but yeah, it's awesome. I mean, $60 for a Ninja Turtle, $60 for a cool mech thing. I mean, it's up to you, you know what I mean? I don't see that this would be impossible. If this was like a thing that you were into, you could start your collection right here on like Big Bad. You could just get a bunch of stuff. I can't believe this is a thing. Reaction figures. I saw this and I had to know what was going on here. Okay, so they've already done... What? Oh, this I don't know. So they do some G.I. Joe stuff. They do Muppets. They do Simpsons. What? Roger Rabbit. They do old Disney stuff. They do it all in like that style, like when, you know, very much like this looks like if Willow had toys back then, this is what they would look like. Which is cool, but I don't actually buy a lot of that retro stuff. It's not really for me. But I had to know what was going on with some Sesame Street toys. I just had to know. Is he just a statue, basically? Okay, the lid opens all the way up. But he doesn't, like, come out, does he? He's not like a... I mean... Okay. $20 for basically that? It's a little much, to be fair. But okay. I just wanted to see it. I had to know. Cookie Monster. Yeah, I see that now. Absolutely. Reaction has a bunch of different properties. And they're very much, and that's a fair name for them. Reaction. It's very much like taking toys and putting them back into the kind of sculpts that we grew up with. Like, look, you can get a Rocky. You can get like this is the kind of Rocky that I would have had when I was a kid. He would have had absolutely terrible movement and everything like that. Look at that. There's Rocky. Like, I mean, it is kind of cool. This is crazy. What the crap? Wild West Cowboy of Moo Mesa. I remember this, like, in passing. Like, I remember there was the cartoon. And that's it. Like, I can't explain much else about it, except that I remember it was definitely a thing. And that's it. So you're a little tempted by Oscar, great background piece for photos. Oh! I hadn't even considered that, man. You just kind of hit on something that I didn't even stop to think about. For $20, you could just pick up some cool backgrounds for photos. That's true. I didn't even consider that. Like, that didn't even cross my mind. see here. We got anything that I want to talk about? They're getting theirs earlier. Not that I need to point it out or whatever, but so I ordered mine off of here, and it says that they're expecting it in August, where Big Bad expects it in September. I don't know if there's a reason for that, if there's some sort of minor timed exclusive, like a 1 month. I don't know. I just know that when, see, like when you go in here, August. But if you go on to Big Bad will tell you that it's September. I don't know. This will be the first time I've ever bought anything from Entertainment Earth and waited, because I've bought a couple of things from Entertainment Earth and then ended up canceling them because I like actually found them in the wild and then just never bothered. This will be the first time. I'm just gonna wait. Even if the Big Bad store ships them out first, I'm just gonna wait because I imagine it's the same as anything else, but I want to see what it's like to get something from them. I've gotten a lot of things from Big Bad and different companies, but I've never bought a single thing all the way through on Entertainment Earth. So I'm buying that and I'm gonna let it come through. I'm gonna see what it's like. Oh, there's two things to look at right there. That's so cool. I can't wait to get that. Do. That's pretty cool. Okay. Dupe. Turtle van. $40. That's incredibly reasonable. I mean, I know it is what it is, but like, look at that. That's cool. That's cool. That would literally fit my original figures, which I have. They're sitting over there. That would be cool. Like that would literally be cool. That's awesome. I know not to expect too much from it. It's very much exactly what it looks like. It's turtles bunched up in there and everything, and but that's just like when I bought the Retro Ecto 1, and I said the reason I wanted it is because I have the Kenner Ghostbusters. I want the original car. It makes me feel like I've completed the line as to the point that I care about it. It would be cool to have the party van, party wagon, whatever. It would be cool. I don't want to get myself wrapped up in a bunch of stuff. See, like the Ultimates one, this is cool, but it's $500. I simply don't have it. I don't have it. I won't have it. Like, there's no way. But I could do this, and I would actually be more than happy with it just to be able to put it with the turtles from my original collection. And it would be awesome. I would have no issue with that at all. I think it would be very cool. Let's see that other thing, though. That's the classic blimp? The classic blimp at $30? Okay. They're trying to take my money now. You know, when I was growing up, this blimp thing, I'm going to be perfectly honest, it was stupid, because it is. It really would have done me no favors or served no real purpose. I wouldn't have had any big adventures necessarily with a blimp or whatever. But I remember going to my buddy's house, and he had the blimp. And I did not have the blimp. And it used to drive me crazy that he had the blimp. I used to just be like, oh man, I want the blimp. You got the blimp. And it was just it's never going to happen for me. There it is. At $40. But I do have to tag it back and say, what am I really going to do with it? It is a balloon. That's another problem too. You blow this thing up and then somebody like hits it, or like it has like the tiniest little thing on it and it's dead. But let me be honest. At $40, I have hooks in the garage that hang from the ceiling. I could just hang this thing up and like have a blimp over in the corner. Would it serve any purpose? Not necessarily. Do any of my toys like serve a purpose? You could argue they don't. I mean, realistically, you could argue they don't. But like, that is really cool. It's like really cool. Right now, I think the next items that I'm going after, in all honesty, is that Red Sonja and the 3-pack from GameStop. We talked about it last time. The Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, Darth Maul. I want that. That's $60. The Red Sonja is $60. My budget. That's it. I'm done. That's as far as I can go. And that's only because I'm going to use... So I've talked about this before, and I really need to do a video talking about this. I need to do a full video talking about budgeting for toys and how it takes real discipline, because it can be a very discipline heavy thing. I have a card. The card has a $500 limit on it, okay? And that $500 limit, I put $100 on that card each paycheck, and I spend that on toys. If I don't spend the whole 100, that rolls over. So if I buy 2 figures and they're $25 a piece, and I spent $50, that $50 rolls over, then I can use that $50 on the next 100 and get something like bigger if I wanted, or just keep the process going until, before you know it, I'm back up to $500, and then I can literally go crazy and get anything I want, or just have like a big wave of stuff come in. It's how I keep myself under control. And in that idea, you have to watch yourself. So like, I see all this cool stuff, right? And that's part of the reason I do this show. It gets my attention, but I always have to watch everything I do. And I always have to be prepared for the idea that I might not get some of the things that I want. I'm very much willing to, there's things that I really want, but there's also a lot of things I'm willing to just let go. Like, oh, that would be sweet. That's like one of the things that I definitely want. And then I don't get it and I go, yeah, I didn't get one. And then that's it. Like, there will be hundreds of other cool things that I will get. So you see what I mean? Like, now that doesn't mean that I don't sometimes like regret certain things that I've not gotten, and then maybe I'll go out of my way to get them later on. But that's what I'm saying, is that like, I have to be willing to step away from a lot of stuff to keep myself under control, or I'd just be stupid spending. So let's answer this question before I get out of here tonight. Thought I didn't like GameStop. Here's the thing. They are the only ones selling these figures. They're it. It's a GameStop exclusive. It is selling a 3-pack Star Wars Black Series 6-inch figures, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. I do not have a Black Series Qui-Gon Jinn. This is my best chance to get it. I'm getting it. GameStop got my money on this one, because I don't have a Qui-Gon. He is my favorite Jedi in all of Star Wars. I want one. I want it on my shelf. This is the way I have to get it. GameStop is getting the first couple dollars from me. It'll be $60. It'll be the first $60 they've gotten from me in like 5.5 years. Hope they enjoy it. That's what's going on. Stupid spending. I'm in touch with that. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, but I fully understand. So, what if Best Buy had the Black Series? I have a lot of bad Best Buy stories, but I don't hate them necessarily. I mean, I just don't like to go there because for some reason my Best Buy sucks. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. This is pretty much the end of my night. I'm going to hang out, probably watch some YouTube or something like that, and then I'll go to sleep because I have the other show to do in the morning. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the show. And we'll do this again next Friday. Later on, guys.